Hi, my name is Gabby Hoglund, and I decided to do my research paper over Martin Luther King Jr. A little background behind King is that he was a well-known social activist who led the civil rights movement during the 1950s. Growing up, King was able to develop a strong relationship with God early on in life by listening to his grandfather preach about the Lord growing up. King then decided to continue his faith by becoming a minister for his local church. The first main theme that I connected Himes to King was through the human sin and suffering. Human sin often comes from those who lack faith in God. Himes discusses how oftentimes the sin that children of God commit are what lead us to our own suffering. However, in the case of Martin Luther King, sin did not lead the suffering felt in the 1950s. During this time, African American people were often treated poorly simply because of the pigmentation of their skin. King was able to understand the pain and suffering that these innocent people felt throughout this time, and he chose to fight against it. The second main theme that I connected Himes to King was through sacramentality, otherwise known as a sacramental vision. Sacramentality, in Himes' eyes, is being able to put the Lord first in everything we do, as well as being able to put the Lord in every element of the day. King used sacramentality during his time as a minister. As a minister, he preached the word of the Lord. However, in order to truly preach the word of the Lord, he had to incorporate him in every other aspect of his life, including leading the civil rights movement. The third main theme that I connected Himes to King was through service. Himes would describe service as an act that is done for the greater good of someone else. Himes believes that it does not matter why he chose to serve others, it just matters that you chose to do so. King was able to serve others by speaking out to thousands of people about why racial segregation should end. He did not choose to do this for himself, but he chose to do it for those who felt as if they did not have a voice in the matter. The fourth main theme that I connected Himes to King was through the mystery of God. Himes would say that no one is able to fully comprehend all there is to know about God because he is a mystery. He says that because God can be seen in all of us and does all things, it can never be fully comprehended. King would agree with Himes because King was a minister before leading the civil rights movement. King knew that he could try and comprehend who God was, but he would never be able to fully grasp who he was. King would just have to keep his faith in the Lord and trust all that he did. The fifth and final main theme that I connected Himes to King was through restlessness. Himes stated that most children of God are considered to be restless. Restlessness can be described as someone who is consistently wanting more and is never satisfied. King was seen as a restless child of God because he fought to stop racial segregation and did not settle for anything less. By having the restless heart that he did, King was able to stop racial segregation and help gain equality for all. Martin Luther King was an inspiring civil rights activist who fought for equality, making sure to use God in all that he preached. By staying nonviolent, as well as preaching for peace and equality, King was able to successfully end racial segregation.